Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na-na.
Hey everybody, this is Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters. I am so excited to show off this typewriter today. This is an Underwood and it's in gold. This logo is in gold, plated obviously, or toned. And this has a gold toned plate up here too. This is an Underwood Quiet Tab, 1956. I thought it was a 54, but it's a 56, black and white. And y'all, this is the prettiest typewriter I think I've ever seen. And so I just really wanted to take the time to show it to y'all. Look, even the details. Look at the paper holder. I mean, something so insignificant as a paper holder, and look at the detail in terms of the design on it. There's going to be a link in the product listing, a link to the product listing in the description below, and go, it's already sold. It's sold immediately, of course. And go look at the photos of this typewriter. I mean, it's stunning. It's beautiful. I actually told my husband when we got the order, it came in really not long after I listed it. And I told him I was really sad that it sold because I kind of wish I had kept it because it's so pretty. But anyway, this is going to be a tutorial video, but also just looking at it. I mean, look at the body shape. So much thought went into this, and that's why I love it. There's just so many little details that make it just a beautiful machine. And yeah, I'm wishing very much now I had kept it because I love the black and white, just the starkness of it, but then the gold accents here and here is just like, oh, it's just so classy and beautiful and elegant. But let's go ahead and talk about it and see how it works. Underwoods are a little bit different than some of the other typewriters, but as I mentioned before, this is your paper holder. And it's just so pretty to look at. You know, I don't even want to load a piece of paper because this typewriter is so pretty. But if you do, well, then back here, margins, you just press that and it just drags to set your margins. Okay. Your carriage obviously is right here. And to move the carriage is these levers right here. It doesn't matter which one or the other. They both release. And this typewriter also has a very sweet bell, and even the typing, I'll do a little bit of typing here at the end just so you can kind of listen to it. The keystroke action, the typing of the keys is just wonderful to listen to. You know, some typewriters have it, you know, when it types, it like hurts your ears. It's not pleasant. And then others are like, oh, I could listen to that. This is one of those where it's like, oh, wow, I could really listen to that. Okay, on the left side, right here is your carriage release. So if you happen to have one and it's not releasing, the carriage release is right here. Over on the right side, then you have your paper release, which we'll look at in a second. And then on the left side here, normally your line selector is kind of off to the side, but it's literally underneath this handle. So you kind of have to push your handle in, and then you'll see 1, 2, and 3. The selector itself is right here, 1, 2, 3. And that just determines if it's going to advance 3 lines, 2 lines, 1 line. That's really the only design issue on this one that I'm not a fan of. Is this really wasn't, it's really not as accessible as I would like it to be. So okay, to open up the top, you just press the release lever here, and that'll release that, and it'll pop up, and you'll see the ribbon in here. It does take a universal ribbon, but it is threaded differently than the other typewriters. On the other typewriters, Well, I'm not even going to tell you because I don't want to confuse you. But on this one, black is on top, red is on bottom still, but you need to bring the ribbon down, underneath, and then up and over. Same with this side, down, underneath, and up and over. So that's opposite than most other typewriters. So please keep that in mind. And then also, you know, when threading through the guide wires, you can, I have an up close photo of this in that product listing, so you can look at that photo, and just that should help you navigate getting it threaded. But make sure your ribbon is threaded through this guide wire and this one. Very messy process. Look for the slits in the metal pieces in here where you thread that ribbon through. Okay, now your tension selector is here on the left, and then to reverse the direction of your ribbon, it's going to be on the side, on this right side. I'm going to lift this up, and it's right here, and you just push back and forth. And then you can also turn this to tighten up, because sometimes, you know, when you're typing, ribbons may lose some of its tension, and so you just turn that there. Okay, let me put it back down. I'm going to bring this forward a little bit. Okay, and then so then you have your tab. Now on this particular but this particular machine, my tabs aren't working correctly, so I'm not actually going to press the levers for you because it's working where it's set, and somebody's already purchased this and I don't want to mess it up. But when you want to, on yours, if you want to set your tab, you should just hit tab. Okay, so this one has a whole bunch of tab sets, and I'm not going to clear them, but if you wanted to clear them, here's your clear button right here on the left side. The other thing you could do is you can hold down your carriage release, and at the same time hold down your clear and move the carriage back and forth, and that will clear your tabs. Then when you're ready to set your tab, put your carriage where you want, and then hit set, which is right here on the right side. All right. This arrow is your backspace. Remember, backspace does not erase. And then you have your margin release. So let's go ahead and load a piece of paper. And I'm going to show you how the margin release works, but then I'm going to let you listen to the typing on it. I'm going to pull up a chair here. Also, color selector is right here. Red is on the bottom, black is on the top. It probably has a blue dot, but that's the black setting. That white dot in the middle is for stencil use. It is not going, if it's on that setting, you're not going to be able to type. I mean, it'll look like it's typing, but it's not going to imprint. So if that ever happens to you where you're typing and the font is faint or it's not typing well, two things to check. Make sure your color selector is firmly on the black or the red. The other thing to check is reverse the direction of your ribbon, and that will solve it the majority of the time. Okay, so let's test the margin release to see how, okay, so now it's stopped on me, so margin release, how it works. And I'm at the end. So that margin, that's gonna, what it is, it has to do with where you have your margin set over here on the right side. So if I bring it in, that bell is going to ding when you get close to your margin to let you know, hey, you need to hit your return handle. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, so when your carriage stops, then margin release, finish your thought or your word, and then hit your return handle. So I'm going to be quiet just for a moment, and I'm going to type on this just so you can, hopefully you can hear it. So. Okay. So that is the Underwood Quiet Deluxe. I am in love. The keystroke action, at least for this particular one, was fantastic. And I loved the feel. I have petite hands. I had no problem using this. It had a great feel to it. And so easy to use. This definitely is... I think this has jumped way up on my list to my #1 manual typewriter. I have seen some other ones like this, even with the same body style, but this is the Deluxe Quiet Tab is what this is. This one, the look and the feel of it is spectacular. So this has quickly become my favorite manual typewriter. All right, I hope you found this helpful. And if you've got one, let me know what you think about your Underwood Quiet Tab Deluxe. And you all have a blessed day.